Hey guys, Generation here. So we're going to take a look at my Master Premier League team, some Premier League matches, and why I choose the team I do and the lead that I choose. So I got a set from when the season first started here, when I just started doing a little bit of Premier before I started doing Open. So we'll give it a look and see how it goes, all right? Okay, here we're met with a Heracross. It's, I believe, a counter user using... its physical attacks against a Gyarados. Fighting type is not going to do very much. We are going to shield the Mega Horn, and you'll see why later on in this match. Because of the team comp of people who use Heracross, we want to preserve the Gyarados as much as we can. But the good thing is we are able to farm down. We have tons of energy, so we know we can get that shield back. We're going to open up with a Crunch against their Gyarados. This should bait the shield, I'm hoping. You'll notice the moveset I run on my Gyarados as well. No Aqua Tail here. We're running Outrage and Crunch, and of course we're going to get to the Outrage before they get to their Crunch, so they're probably going to go ahead and let this through, thinking that it's just another Crunch. Well, that hurts. Now we brought down this Dragon Breath Gyarados into the red. It is going to be loaded with energy, and that's fine. We're not going to be too worried because of what we're bringing in. Of course, with the Togekiss, we know it's just going to be one hit and it's going to hurt it. But watch what this Gyarados ends up having for a moveset. He chooses Hydro Pump instead of Aqua Tail. So I'm seeing less and less Aqua Tail using Gyarados in this league. We're able to get out of that Togekiss as quick as possible and take on this Metagross. What we're going to want to do here is build up the two Cross Chops. Okay, incoming from the Metagross, Meteor Mash. We're going to shield up. So we know we got him a little bit past half health, so even if he shields one of these Cross Chops, we should get close to being able to counter him down, and if not, it would just be a Charm and he'd be out of energy. So let's see how we do here. Out with the shield, one more Cross Chop incoming, and let's see how close we can get to knocking this thing out. Lands, and 1, 2, oh, we were one counter away, but that's fine because we still have Togekiss, and one Charm still is Charm damage. Even though it's resisted, it should be enough to take out the Metagross. And there it is, our first win. There it goes, okay. So first win in Master Premier. So let's move on to our second match. And let's see how that one goes. Let's see how we did for a record on our first Premier League matches of the season. Opening up Premier. There we go. Gyarados, Togekiss, Machamp, with Togekiss and Machamp in the back, because when those two are in the back, they can cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams, right? And Gyarados can just be a solid lead. Especially Waterfall Gyarados. It can cause a lot of problems in this league. Okay, met with a Magnezone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Horrible, right? Well, not too horrible, okay? Waterfall Gyarados actually does a lot better than Dragon Breath Gyarados does in this matchup. So we're going to go ahead and Crunch. And hopefully we don't get baited with the Mirror Shot, but we'll see. Out goes the Crunch. He's going to shield, so we got one of his shields. Oh, right as we were trying to swap into that Machamp. Makes me think it's a Wild Charge. Let's see. Mirror Shot. Okay, awesome. And I'm sitting there trying to switch, and just didn't work. Lag. Now we know what's incoming, right? We know these are Wild Charges. And we were only able to burn one shield, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Wild Charge incoming, and then Wild Charge should be incoming after one more Spark. Another Wild Charge. Okay, but we are able to take out the Magnezone with a little bit of loaded energy on the Machamp, and it looks like we had actually hit him with the quick move that killed him, but he was still able to get the charge move off in time. So, oh, don't need a switch. Got Ice and Ground with the Mamoswine, and Machamp just literally hard walls this Pokemon, guys. Machamp hard walls Mamoswine. Absolutely destroys the poor thing. Look at that. Ugh. Disgusting damage. And this is interesting. I don't see too many Typhlosions coming into the Master League Premier, but that's okay. I love seeing unique Pokemon, and I love Spice, so let's see how it goes. Able to get in the second Cross Chop. Now he's going to be forced to Blast Burn us, otherwise we're going to get off another charge move. Might just straight Rock Slide. Let's see what he does. Yeah, I would get off that Blast Burn, so he's going to be taking out the Machamp, and then he'll see what we have in the back. There we go. Charms are still doing charm damage, a lot of damage coming through, and he goes down. All right, going into our third game. Now this is an interesting game. FP Sticks did a live broadcast where he ran into almost the same matchup, and he just managed to squeak that one out. So we're met with a Garchomp up front. Now, me thinking this thing has Outrage, right? Because that's what you run on Garchomp when it's leading, is Outrage. If it's in the back, it's likely going to be Earthquake and Sand Tomb. If it's in the front, it's likely going to be Earthquake and Outrage. So let's see what happens here. We take that first Sand Tomb. Okay, we didn't fall for the bait. We're not falling for it, guy. But then we throw this Crunch, right? And watch what he does. He shields. Okay, he shields. So I'm like, okay, he's building up to an Outrage. This is weird, but okay, this stinks. He builds up to what would be an Outrage. I go ahead and throw the shield, expecting an Outrage, and it's another Sand Tomb. Obviously, we had a little bit of battery issue there in the middle of the match, but that's fine. In comes the Tyranitar. Out with our own Outrage. Here it comes. And I don't think he expected this. Probably expected a Crunch or Aqua Tail. Ouch. And we are able to take out the Tyranitar. So that's a good start. Doing all right here. See what he decides to bring in now, as we are tied shields. Okay, in comes his Metagross. Oh, the Crunch. That's what I messed up in this match that I wanted to point out. I had the Crunch. I thought I was still one Waterfall away, and I just wasn't looking at my charge moves, so I'd counted wrong in my head. And this is what we end up with. We're being forced to shield on the Meteor Mash, and then try to get to 2 Cross Chops here. And then we got to rely on a Togekiss, which can easily take care of the Garchomp. That we're not worried about. The Garchomp is a clean sweep. The Metagross is the only real issue right now. And he safe swaps, or he sack swaps into the Garchomp, which ruins our day, essentially. Now we don't have that extra Cross Chop. So I sack swap into Togekiss, hoping that we had brought the Metagross down low enough where we can come back, we can absorb the Meteor Mash that he's going to have to throw, and then come back in and get off the counters we need, which I think would be like 2 counters, but we'll see. We'll see just how close this match gets. Yeah, he's going to have to throw here. So now look how close he is to dying, but remember our Machamp. If we had only not fallen for that sack swap, we would have been fine. And we're sitting there pressing it, right? Pressing it as fast as we can, and I guess Machamp loses CMP to Metagross, and that's going to be a good game. And we were even just one counter off, but that's okay. All right, so we're moving on to game number 2, 3, 4. Okay, game number 4. So we're at what, 2-1 right now? 2 wins, 1 loss, and let's see if we can salvage this into a winning set, guys. Once again, leading with the Gyarados. Remember, I run Waterfall, Crunch, and Outrage for a reason. Well, here we go. We need to get a shield out of this thing. This is already going to be trouble for us and for this team. We have to get a shield out of it, because when we swap the Togekiss in after this thing farms us down, we're gonna need to shield the Psychic. So we need to get a shield out of this thing, and we do. And we are just gonna keep getting as much damage in as possible. Down goes the Gyarados, and in comes the Psychic. Now we're going to have to burn one of our shields. So now at least we're at shield parity, and we've traded a Gyarados for a Gardevoir, and we have lost the tempo, we have lost the lead here. And in comes the Steel type. Now we know what we need to do. We need to keep this Machop alive, and I couldn't have been happier when I saw this Rhyperior come in. I could not have been happier. This gave us that little glimmer of hope that we need. We know it's going to be a close battle now, but we have a little glimmer of hope. So we just need to cross chop and farm. Here comes the second cross chop. This is why we needed to get that first shield off the Gardevoir. Cross chop is coming in. I'm thinking about going cross chop close combat just because of how little I use Rock Slide. I think close combat would surprise some people, especially up against something like a Metagross. You could nearly take it out right off the rip. So here we go. Here comes another one. Cross chop incoming. Just need to get it down into the red. Come on, buddy. And he's forced to throw his energy, which is great. We're going to hang on to that shield, right? Hang on to that shield because we're going to need it. This is not a good matchup, but he's in the red. We were still in the green. We're going to be able to shield this. And even though this was a close match, we were able to pull back from a very tough lead for us. So we were able to lose the lead, come back, and it looks like we're going to take the win in Game 4. And we're going to go 3-1 so far in this set. Oh, I hope you guys are learning something from this. I know I do. Every time I play these sets, I always learn something from it. And I know I usually don't do Premier. I usually do much better in Open Master, but I wanted to do some Premier so that I could help the community and we could all learn together and see what happens. And that's why I started with Premier this season. I kind of opened up. I was like, heck, let's give it a try and record it and then put it up on the channel. So we're led with a Metagross, which is fine. We're okay with that. We'd probably be a little better off if we had the Aquatail Gyarados at this point, but Crunch is going to hurt. So let's see what he decides to do with his Metagross. Remember, we do have 2 Pokemon that can handle Metagross too, so retaining shield advantage is going to be kind of important. Let's see. So it looks like even if we decide to use one shield to keep the Gyarados alive, we should be able to get to another Crunch. Looks like we had some lag there. Yeah, one more and we'd get to another Crunch, which would force either his last shield or we go into shield parity and we win switch advantage, which is super important. Let's see. Out goes the Crunch. And let's see what happens. Crunch goes out onto the Metagross. He does not decide to shield, so we won switch advantage and we're at shield parity, so that's a win for us. And out comes Mamoswine. I don't know who's putting out the Mamoswine videos, but keep them coming because this is working out really well. It's destructive. Even an Avalanche won't kill us. It'll put us in yellow, but it looks like we're going to preserve the Machamp and just farm this thing down because we know we'll get those shields back, and it is another Machamp. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Cross Chop, see if we can get that shield. All right. And we're going to probably save the other Cross Chop, I imagine. Yep. And take their Cross Chop onto the Togekiss. Now we're going to have a Cross Chop ready for the Mamoswine. Although at this point we won't need it because by the time it gets to an Avalanche and takes out the Togekiss, it'll have nearly no health left and Machamp can come in and finish the job. Yep, he's in red. I believe 2 counters worth of health left. Let's see, Avalanche out. Okay, it takes out the Togekiss, but we come in a couple counters down and we take the match. And this is a 4-1 set. So we were able to learn something from a tough loss, and we were able to take 4 really cool wins, some of them close, some of them not so close. But hey guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to get some more in-depth PvP knowledge and grow with me on this channel. And I will talk to you all later. Generation out.